It's so calm out here. I could take a nap right now. Yeah, I love naps. I could take a nap anywhere. Yeah. I'm the best at naps. They should call me the Napster. Oh, wait, no, not again. All right, so over the next couple days, I'm gonna be hiking my way through Glacier National Park in northern Montana. Now, this really reminds me of Yosemite in that it has these deep glacier cut valleys, tons of infrastructure and places to eat and things, but it also means thousands of tourists, even on a normal weekday. So I'm gonna be masking up most of the time. Come on, let's go check it out. And I'm headed up to a lake called Avalanche Lake, which was created by, you guessed it, an avalanche from a glacier a very, very long time ago. So, actually, I think I see it. I know I joked about it a little bit in the last episode, but I am in serious grizzly bear country now. There are thousands of sightings in the park per year, and they're pretty big. And they actually recommend that you carry bear spray, which I'm not entirely on board with, because if you're a student of history in World War I, if you're in the wrong wind, you might end up hitting yourself, and you might just season their dinner for them. I mean, it's not that grizzly bears are any more aggressive than the black bears I've dealt with my entire life, but they are bigger, their claws can get up to double the size, and they have a lot more powerful swipe, and I have a hunch that it comes from their haunch, which, nailed that pun, yes. But I don't actually want to talk about grizzly bears today. What I want to talk about is color palettes. Yeah, that was a hard left. And don't worry, by the end of this, you'll understand why we're talking about it and how it ties into this entire journey. So, sidestep. When I was younger and got out of high school, I actually wanted to go to film school and become a cinematographer. Now, the difference between a director and a cinematographer is that a director controls the actors and the pacing and the, staging of the characters and how that moves through the scene, whereas a cinematographer controls the lens and frame size, the aspect ratio, the type of cameras that are used and angles, and also the color palettes. And they are very important to how the overall scene feels. Another sidestep is that there are four amazing examples of cinematography from 2019 that I would recommend. And that is Jojo Rabbit, Bohemian Rhapsody, Joker, and my all-time favorite from last year, 1917. It's an amazing movie. Go check it out. Another sidestep, sorry, I can't help myself, is that people have been asking me why I've been filming in a linear mode instead of a wide. And that's because on the GoPro, I feel that the wide, the 16:9 aspect ratio, it comes out looking like a fisheye lens. And that's just weird. I don't like it at all. So I've been using the 4:3, and I think it works out all right. So hopefully that answers your questions. So I decided today to take a long drive out through the mountains and come to the Canadian border again. But this one is completely desolate and there's nobody here. And it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm technically in Canada right now, but shh, don't tell anybody. I think human behavior is a little weird sometimes in that you can see in both directions here that they've cut the border out of the trees all the way up and over the mountain. And it's just, I mean, come on guys, it's just a border. And even though it's a little bit windy out here today, I think now is the perfect time to continue our discussion about color palettes from yesterday. You see, why color palettes are so important is that the colors that are put in front of our eyes actually can change or alter our behavior, our mood, and our decision-making processes. So that they're really important. For instance, blues. Blue! Blues are usually used to instill trustworthiness, peace, intelligence, and calm. It's kind of a smorgasbord between a pastel blue and a dark blue, but you see this mostly in corporations, gyms, other things that make you want to feel more secure and safe. And now on to reds. Red! Reds are used to instill a feeling of hunger, of courage, of passion, and of urgency. So you see these in fast food chains, you see them in fire engines, and they basically are trying to tell you you need to feel strongly about this. And now on to greens. Green! Greens are used not just in salads, they're used to instill tranquility, nature, health, and cash. So you'll see it in a lot of tax companies or cash, payday companies. You'll see it in health clubs, in pharmacies, and in nature. And now on to the color black. Black! The color black is often used for authority, stability, power, and strength. And also used to slim things down or make an appearance look smaller. Think of the little black dress. But it can also be used as an overwhelming factor, and that's used very commonly in horror movies. And now on to oranges and yellows. I don't have those colors. Yellows and oranges are used to create optimism or encouragement. And so when you use them in moderation, you'll see them on end caps in stores and things like that. But use too much and they will actually show caution and anxiety. And so having a really bright yellow or orange, like a reflective vest or a sign on the side of the road, can show caution. And now on to grays. I literally cannot afford all 50 shades of gray, okay? In this economy, give me a break. Grays are used in solidarity, in timelessness, or intelligence. Think of your gray wolf or your owl. And if you use too much of it, though, you can lead to feelings of loneliness or emptiness, nothingness. And that can be really depressing. And lastly, the color white. Whiteboard! The color white is commonly used in purity and cleanliness and safety. You see it a lot in dentistry commercials, which, don't look at my teeth now, I'm thinking about it, and in wedding dresses and in security systems. So that's the common uses, but it can also be used for a sensory deprivation system. So look out for that. I really appreciate the diverse amount of tree species out here because damn! That's a huge birch grove. There are three main sections of the United States: the West Coast, the Midwest, and then the East Coast. And that means there are two dividers that signify the difference between them. One is the Mississippi River, and the other is the Continental Divide. Come on, let's go check it out. I think now is as good a time as ever to finish our discussion on color palettes and why they're so important. And so we've gone over that they alter your mood, behavior, and your decision-making processes. And we went over the different colors and how they affect you. But how do we tie that all together? So the first thing you can do is look at your current surroundings. Are you sitting in a white-walled room? Is your office white-walled and doesn't have any color to it? Think about your surroundings and the colors that you see throughout your day. What does your environment look like? What kind of advertisements are you looking like? And segue to number 2. The second thing you can do is get rid of ads from your life. And that is so hard to do because we are bombarded with them about 1,000 to 2,000 a day. And they are everywhere. They're in front of our faces, and you know that their entire intention is to change your mood, behavior, and your decision-making processes. They want to make you buy stuff. A weird trick that I did a while back to train my brain against advertisements is every time I saw one, I would think of the sound of a crow cawing. So then you begin to realize how many ads you see throughout the day when they are straight up murdering your thoughts. And yes, nailed that pun. Yes. And the last and most important thing that just ties this whole discussion together, and it's the reason that you feel so at ease, at peace when you go to the mountains or the ocean, and that is nature. What do I mean by that? I mean, there are no screens out here. There's no social media bombarding you with useless information. There's no background music. There are no white walls surrounding you, just devoid of color. And there are no advertisements in your face all day. It is pure, unaltered color. And there are lush greens in the forest. There are unimaginably beautiful turquoises and blues in the rivers and lakes and oceans. There are just these fantastic grays on the rock faces. There are bold oranges and yellows in the desert. It is astounding, and it just puts your mind at ease. And so I cannot stress enough that you need to de-stress by coming out here. And that's why I always say, share an awesome adventure, because I am with you. So, let's go check it out together. Guys, I am geology nerding out right now. Woohoo! It's because all of this rock in this region and in the Rocky Mountains in general is Precambrian, which means it's over 500 million years old. And it was just silt at the bottom of an ocean, just over and over and over again. And then it got compressed and turned into sedimentary rock. And then it got heated up by magma and turned into metamorphic rock. And then it got pushed up through the surface, so it has older rock on top of newer rock. And that's just bonkers. And I wish I could talk about that, but maybe next time. So you may be asking yourself, why is Bear swimming in a lake? And that's because I literally cannot afford those kayak rental fees. Not after last time. I didn't even get my deposit back. Some things happened, some things were said, and I don't really want to talk about it. Anyways, that's all in the past. I'm glad you guys were able to join me for my adventure through Northwest Montana. Remember, like others, share an awesome adventure and subscribe to A Better Way of Life. I'm gonna go find a place to go nap. See you guys on the next one. In the United States geography system, there are two separate but equal entities, the Mississippi and the Continental Divide. These are their stories. Where is that noise coming from?